Well, hello class. In this video, we're getting close to finishing this drawing. Up here, I've sort of pulled back up the drawing as you're going to submit it because we're pretty much done with all the dimensioning now. So that was just for reference for you, but you're going to make your drawing look like this. If you notice from what we've done so far, the big piece we have other than the title block is putting in the text of the room names, and we do want those, so that's what this video is going to be about. So you can see them here. I'm going to pull this drawing off to the side and just show you how to do it. I think the first thing, of course, we always want to make sure is if you haven't done this, is make sure you're set to 3/16 down here. Otherwise, your text size is just not going to come out right. Now I just jumped back to my home tab. You're probably already there. But if not, because what I want to do is I want to change my layer to the right layer. And I'm going to go to this one should already be loaded in for you. Don't need to make it. It's Annotate text, and we'll go to that. And then to put in text, it's not too difficult. We're going to come up to our top ribbon here, go over to Annotate. And we want to make sure that it says annotative right there, which is good. It probably does already, but if it doesn't, make sure it says annotative in this pull down right here. And then if it probably does say 1/8 already as well, but if it doesn't, make sure it says 1/8 there as well. And then hit multi-line text. Now there's other kinds of text in AutoCAD. Usually always multi-line text is the best. We'll keep it simple. I might explain more in class or in lecture, but we'll hit that button. What you need to do is, I'll start with the living room, and we'll just pull a square over, and in the sides of the square is where you'll be able to type, and it's okay if it's too big or too small, that all just doesn't matter, so you can really just click and let it go, and then type in living room. Now make sure your cap locks is on, because in architecture everything's always capitalized, so we'll type it in. And now this text is looking really large just because where I have it pointed out, but that's okay. And it'll shrink. It's just showing me so I can see it. I do want to highlight all the text. And hey, folks out there, I paused for a second. I had someone walk in on me. That's all right. So anyway, what I was doing is I just selected all this text. And I'm just going to hit this little U for underline. And now when I click outside the box, we can see it shrinks down to the right size. As long as you had the 1/8 up here and you have 3/16 down there, it is going to be the right size text. And when I zoom in, we can see it. And one thing I would say, and be critical of this is not really well centered. So I'm going to go back to Home, and I'm going to go to Move. I'm going to select this and hit any base point close by and just eyeball it to the center. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be a lot better than what I sort of did originally. Now that I have one, I can either regenerate text again and keep doing the same process you just did, or what I like to do is just copy the text. So I'm going to actually do this all in one move. I'm going to hit the living room, hit enter, click a base point close by, and I know I'm going to want a dining room about here, and the kitchen to be about here, and the porch to be down here. And they're all saying living right now. I'll come back and edit them. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And this one says bath, and then this one says bedroom. So I've sort of centered them on living room. And if I got to recenter these again, I will. But now to edit any text, you just double click on a piece of text, and it brings up the same ribbon that we were just looking at. I can select all of this and say dining. So DINING. And as a note too, just so you can see that if you typed in something wrong that isn't spelled correctly, you get the little red lines just like you would in other word processing to help you know you spelled it wrong. You can right click and fix the name. This one happens to be kitchen. So there we go, kitchen. And bath. And bedroom. And I could say that's all pretty good. Oh, no, I forgot porch. Forgot porch. Don't forget porch. He was hanging out here off my screen. One thing that I will note, this is pretty much the end of this, and I'll move on to doing the title block next in the next video, but I do want to say one point. You can listen to me talk or you can end the video. I don't care. I just wanted a little trivia. You know how sometimes things are called living room, ing, and dining room, ing, but a bedroom is not bedding room or bathing room, it's bedroom and bathroom? How do you know if it gets an ing? Why not live room? Why not dine room? And the reason is verb versus a noun. It's a bit of a linguistic thing, but you live, which is a verb, so it gets ing, and you dine, which is a verb, so it gets the ing. So just a little heads up, because you can apply that same logic to any room. It usually works. So that is the reason for that. And with that, I'll end this video and show you the title block, which is essentially the last step next.